Hi everyone and welcome back to the Bodcast. This is episode 141 and I'm here and Ian is here.
Hello.
And we are going to talk about Lego shows because, you know, it's less than 72 hours. I don't know how many hours it is.
There's 24 hours in a day.
Yeah. So it's Wednesday now. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's about right, isn't it? I think I was right. Until Bricktastic. Bricktastic, biggest show in the UK, we reckon. I guess that's without a doubt, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I wasn't feeling worried about it, but I feel worried about it now on behalf of other people. So, why are shows so stressful?
So, I mean...
Do they have to be?
So I would say, you know, the last show we went to, Swindon...
Quite stressful for us.
Was quite stressful, but, you know, the ones before that weren't, because we knew what we were taking, we weren't building anything for the show.
Yeah.
Swindon was the first one where we needed a new mock for it, so we were trying to get that done. This one, again, I think the stress has gone back down again, because we've got a mock ready to go. We're adding some bits to it, but if all we took was what we took to Swindon, that would be fine,
because there's people in Manchester who...
Yeah, most of the people there won't have seen the mock.
Yeah, so it's fine.
So it's that taking something new, and, you know, we do what is kind of typical in that we create a mock and then we tour it for a year and then we create a new mock. There are other people
who always make new stuff.
Can you imagine? I think that's unusual.
I don't know. Like, not taking the same thing to a show twice seems like you're doing a disservice to the local people a little bit, because they'll not necessarily
I don't think many people don't take a mock to multiple shows. But you do get some crazy people, like Gaz, the minifig who likes to
just keep add
new stuff for every show. So each show he's got something new that he wants to take along with everything else.
Yeah. That's going to get to the point where he can't really take it all.
That's why he's moved on to 2 tables rather than just 1 table.
But when do you call that a day and say...
When you can no longer fit it in the car.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's that the car then becomes the limit. But are you bringing something that people want to see again and again? Or would they rather just see the new stuff? Is it kind of hard to let go of your mock? I think it is.
Yes, I think so. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know. We saw people at Swindon who we'd definitely seen the year before.
Yeah.
But I'm also guessing there's a lot of people who go to Swindon and that's their first time going to the Swindon Lego show.
Right.
So even if you took the same thing, it's still a lot of new people seeing it.
Oh yeah, people. Do you mean the crowd?
Yes.
Yeah. There's people get into Lego all the time. So yeah, you're right. There's still some value for someone in taking it. Yeah, I suppose that's fair.
I think there are going to be definitely shows we've been to where you've seen the mock so many times before that you're a little bit fed up of it.
Yeah, but I also think there's a likelihood that some mocks the person's put a lot of work into between shows, and you just don't realise because it's a very similar looking mock.
Yeah,
and it's hard to distinguish that thing. So, like, you know, the Micropolis, that's the word. Because it's such a small scale, you're not going to notice that they've completely redone like 3, 4 studs square.
Yeah.
Even though that's probably quite a lot of work for them because it's small scale.
Yeah.
It's harder to notice.
Yes.
And so you think, oh, this person just brings the same thing each time. And they think, oh, I've worked really hard on this. So it's tricky. But I love a Micropolis.
Yeah.
They're one of my favourites, I think. Why are we stressed about this show all of a sudden then?
I don't feel that
you don't feel stressed. I think I have just assumed responsibility for other people's mocks, and that like literally responsibility because now I'm driving it there, and that just adds that little bit of, oh my gosh, I'm going to break it for them, and I feel bad.
I think there's a bit of stress around Bricktastic because how awful the journey was last year.
Yeah, I think that is definitely playing on my mind, is that I didn't feel like we got there and we were the best people we could be by the time we got there. So I want to be more refreshed this year, or less worried about it. I think we're also just getting like used to doing shows. So like we've got a list of things to take.
Yeah.
Which I don't
think... You like lists.
But I don't feel like we've had a list before, and we've always forgotten something. So it's
we'll
useful.
Forget something.
No, don't do that. No, we won't. We're going to take everything this time.
Okay.
What kind of maths should you do to work out how big a mock you can work on before a show? Like, say we've just signed up to a show and it's 8 weeks away. How big a mock should we do? Or is it completely
I think
unable to do it?
Yeah, so
there's no formula.
It's going to depend on so many different things.
I guess, do you already have the parts? Do you already have a design kind of thing?
Yeah. So like our mock that we're taking to Bricktastic is large, but most of it, so what we have Lego sets. Sometimes they're slightly modified, like we've had to reverse some and add some changes on.
Yeah,
but it's essentially sets, and then you build a landscape to encompass them. And so those sets had all been built previously.
Yeah.
And so we were just building the landscape, and the landscape took about a month to build.
Yeah.
If you were doing that and then having to design and build custom buildings on top, then it takes a lot longer.
Yeah. And it's okay to take like sets that you've incorporated into a bigger mock, I feel.
Yes.
Just to make that clear. Like, I'm not ashamed of that.
No.
At all. And I actually prefer it because I enjoy talking to the kids at the shows. And the kids recognise the sets.
Yeah.
And therefore it's exciting for them. And it feels achievable for them to go home and do something similar.
Yes.
So I think that's like the angle that I want to inspire.
So I think we definitely saw that both with the Elves Mock and with the Coral Reef.
Yeah,
the Coral Reef is less obviously sets in some ways.
Yeah, because it's all merged a lot more. Whereas,
but we had quite a lot of kids who their parent would say, "You've wanted to do something like this. Look, you could just use your other sets and break that off and use it." So it's really nice to see kids getting inspiration from what you're doing.
Yeah. If you're designing a mock for a show and it's massive and it's like really stressful to do, are you ruining that show for yourself a little? Like, pre-show stress, is it worth it? Are you...
But then, if you achieve it, does the fact that you've done something stupidly large and crazy make it a better show?
Yeah, and like, if you don't push yourself, how do you ever improve?
Yeah.
Like, you've got to challenge yourself. And like, there's some fun in that, right?
Yes.
I want to make this thing that hangs upside down from like one stud or something. Like, I don't know. Like, that's part of the fun of the hobby, right?
Yeah. I think when it gets really stressful is when it's a collab.
Because you've then got the guilt of letting someone else down. Like, or the worry of letting someone else down.
Yes. Or the stress of wanting the other person to be doing it faster.
Yeah.
So I definitely felt that with the Elves Mock.
What?
What?
You thought you wanted me to go faster?
Yes.
Got done, didn't it?
It did, and it was stressful. I wanted us to start earlier, and yeah. Whereas when you're doing it, so with the Coral Reef, that was essentially just me building it, and so I didn't feel that I could spend time on it when I wanted to, and kind of had an idea of this is the minimum level I want to reach in order to display it.
Yeah.
And then and once I've hit that, I can just keep going.
Yeah, just keep adding little bits.
Which I think is nice, and I think if you are going to do a large mock, it's kind of important to do that.
To have stages that you...
To have a...
MVP. MVP? Is that the...
Yeah, minimal viable product.
Yeah, we're techies.
Yeah. That's what you have to get done to show it. And you want to make sure that that is definitely achievable. And then once you've got that, it's like, right, and now we can expand it by adding this, this and this. And if that doesn't get done, it doesn't make it to the first show. And that's the advantage of taking a mock on tour, that you can adapt it each time. So ours definitely was a lot fuller by
for
the
sure.
end.
Looking back at our Swindon mock, the Coral Reef, like it looks so sparse.
Yeah.
But I remember being super proud of it still.
Yeah.
So you just improve things. That's just how it works. Do you think if you've only ever taken like a mock to a show that is... If you've only ever taken a mock to a show that is, say, like 4 base plates by 4 base plates, or like...
4 base plates by 4 that's quite big.
Okay, 4 base plates by 2 base plates, so it fits on a table, essentially.
Okay.
And then you decide to do 27 base plates worth of stuff. That maybe, like, you've been a bit ambitious there.
But ambitious is fun.
Yeah.
Also, so if we're saying, it fits on one table, making something that, say, fits on 2 tables...
Why not just go bigger?
Well, I'm kind of thinking at some point it's not large enough to be considered a large, exciting mock. And so you're just adding extra work without getting the benefit for it.
Oh, so you're saying if you're going to go big, you have to go big.
Yeah.
Right. I thought you were saying that, like, you have one child, why not just add another because 2's the same and 3's the same. But you're saying don't just add a little bit because... You may as well just do the small thing.
Yeah.
It's not got the wow factor with just one. Yeah, okay. So go 10 tables or 1.
Yeah.
1 table, 10 table.
I think that's it, yeah.
Okay.
Or, 1 mock on 1 table and then 20 mocks on 2 tables kind of thing. You can do that to expand by stages.
20 mock, as in 20 smaller mocks?
Yeah. Because I think that way then it's that you've got a large collection and there's going to be something that different people like about them kind of thing. So I think it's then the number of mocks that's impressive.
Right.
And then, so you then go the next stage on where it's then, 4 tables, 8 tables. That's kind of one big giant mock and you're going to have lots of different scenes going on in it.
Once you've done like 8, 10 table mocks, where do you go from there?
Up,
high mocks.
Yeah.
Interesting. Tall mocks, dangerous mocks, knife throwing mocks.
Knife throw. Add some flame.
Flame throwing mocks sounds epic.
Yeah.
I think you might struggle to get that like to a show.
You might.
Like health and safety wise.
I think Swindon, like not the latest one, but the one before, someone had a mock and it had little steam bits in it. And then they were told to turn it off. And it's a steam museum.
Yeah.
How can you not allow me to have steam in the mock?
Because they don't want the things to go off.
Yes.
That's better safe than sorry. Do you think just like putting together a mock so you can get into the shows for free is an acceptable thing to do? Like, I'm just going to do the bare minimum so that I don't have to pay to attend this show.
Depends what you count as the bare minimum, doesn't it?
Agreeable to base plate.
I think that
and
doesn't count.
Called it sand. I don't know. But like, you've not challenged yourself.
Yeah.
But then displaying at these shows is not cheap. No. Even though you're not paying to get in. You're there for 2 whole days. But you've got a lot of Lego.
You've always got the option of volunteering. And that gets you free entry.
Without having to do the mock.
Without having to do the mock. So you don't have to spend on Lego. You do, but that's how you get in for free. I think
that's less fun.
Doing a small mock so you get in for free is just cheeky.
Okay. Especially if it's not your mock. If you just bring along a rebreakable, you're saying that's bad.
I think the important thing is filling a table.
Right.
I think, if you are because we see a lot of shows where people are taking rebrickables, or what's the other one?
Brickabuilds.
Brickabuilds. Kind of those kind of things. I think that can still work. You're still having to buy the Lego and build the Lego, and you're still hopefully displaying it
In a
so
way
that
for
it's
you.
interesting for people. I think you do have to be careful to make sure that
It's clear.
It's clear that it's not your design.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that.
Well, you're still trying to. You're still showing off. You're still showing off Lego and trying to inspire some kids and stuff, and that's kind of the point, isn't it?
Mm. I think it must be slightly gutting when someone turns up with a model with a mock, and then someone turns up with like a bricker build of the same thing and it looks better, and it's like that's frustrating.
Because there was the Stitch at one show we went to. There was 2 Stitches, and one was like so much better than the other. But I can't remember which was which.
Yeah, but when one is designed by someone who does it for a living and makes money off it,
yeah,
and then all you're doing is following those instructions.
Yeah.
That the person who's bought the mock, I think it's right to be slightly annoyed that theirs is the better one and they're getting more attention for it.
Yeah. I mean, what's the likelihood of turning up to a show and you've done the exact same thing as someone else?
I think it depends on kind of the
popularity of the thing that you've decided to, like, at the moment, a Wednesday mock or a Marvel mock, like, these kind of things are all the rage, especially with the Avengers Tower. I imagine that's...
At one point, Avenger Towers were all over shows, so there were quite a lot of people who would come up with different ones. I think also there's quite a big thing in doing, like, the large Pokemon builds, and so I think there you've got a high chance of overlapping.
Yeah. I've just realised we've got stuff already going to Manchester that we did. Like our collaborative build.
Yeah.
I've totally forgotten that we did that. You know how stressful that was, and then we just sent them off and they're gone. So
I'm assuming that they made it.
I checked that it got signed.
Okay.
I am actually intrigued to see how that turned out.
Yeah.
Because I've got no clue what that's going to look like.
No.
Yeah, that's quite exciting. I think shows are just fun.
Yeah.
And I love seeing the new stuff. I prefer not to be stressed about getting our stuff ready, but I like having something new to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't want to always take the same thing. So it's a necessary evil. And I think if you just start sooner than we did last time.
I think there's some people need that
pressure.
Tight deadline in order to motivate them.
Me, I'm one of those.
You, yes. So
I also it's not just that I need that tight deadline, which I do. I'm much better at getting things done when it has to get done. But I also underestimate like the work involved in a mock sometimes.
Yes.
I'm just like, oh, you'll just do this and it'll be fine. Like doing the rock work on our elves mock was eye opening on how fiddly and how like just long that takes.
Yeah.
And part intensive and stuff. So like every time I do a mock, it's going to be like teaching me something.
Yes.
So just you're not very good at like getting me to believe that you when you say we're not going to get this done, because we got it done. Just saying.
We did.
And it wasn't that stressful.
Yes, it was.
For me.
Yes.
I think the problem is I find it really hard to create when I don't feel on top of like everything in my life, and I never feel on top of everything in my life. So starting something is more of a hurdle for me than for you. You already have like a vision in your mind and you know where you're going, whereas I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I need to not see anything else in my peripheral vision so I can get on with it. And like we weren't in that state at all because the room was a mess.
Still is.
Yeah, is this the time to talk about the room? Do you want to...
Oh, you want me to rate the room?
Rate the room, seeing as we've just stumbled upon that topic? I don't remember what you gave it last week, but I'm pretty sure it was low.
I think it was 1.
I'd say it's worse.
Yeah, I'll give you half.
I
like how the tram is back on the floor in pieces.
It's just the way all good Lego rooms should have a tram in pieces on the floor.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 days before Bricktastic, and I'm not thinking about tidying the room now. I'm thinking about what do I need to pack in my suitcase.
Yeah.
So it's priorities. Like, do I need a tidy room right now? No.
No.
Because I need a tidy mind.
You don't have a tidy mind.
I do. How do you know? You've not been in there.
Okay.
Just to clarify. Yeah, I think you just need to plan something in advance. Start in advance. Think about how you're going to get it there. And then actually enjoy the weekend.
Yeah.
And I plan to do that.
Good.
And I think it's going to be great.
I'm sure it will be.
I'm just a little bit worried that I'm driving someone else's mock to the show.
Be fine.
What if it's not?
Can't be any worse than when he's taking it himself.
Physically, I don't think it would get to Manchester any other way. So
yes.
I think, there's no way to take the rest of the mock on a train. Therefore, taking it for him.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's an important point. When you are planning on taking a large mock to a show and you're going by train, think about how you're actually going to get it there, because you are limited on how you
Why would you think about that? That's no fun.
Work out who lives close to you, who can take it for you.
I take it all back. Don't plan anything. Just ride towards the fire or whatever and hope that someone comes in with a hose at some point to fix it for you. Life is like that. Things just work out. Trust in the universe.
Right, okay.
Is that not how you should do it?
Are we going to start talking about manifesting or something?
Yeah, manifest success by not caring about the details and just getting on with it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Something will always work out.
Yeah.
So, do those big crazy things. Don't regret it. It's fine.
Sure.
Okay, right. So if you haven't got tickets for Bricktastic already, Sunday I think is your best bet, but it's probably sold out by now. I don't know. I can't remember. Definitely Saturday is.
Are they allowed to
sell on the door?
Sell more tickets because they've got more space?
I've no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, how do we know for sure that they've got more space? We know they've got more people.
I'm sure they said that there's more space.
They said they wanted more space. What if they didn't get it?
I don't know.
I guess we will see.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm a little nervous about the journey, but it's going to be absolutely fine. And it's going to be worthwhile doing.
Yeah.
And this room will look tidier next week.
No, it won't.
The week after. I think it's going to look tidy tomorrow, so I think you should stop being so rude.
Okay.
Any last thoughts on shows?
Nope, I think that's everything.
Okay, if you want to listen to any previous episodes of the podcast, then I'll link up the playlist at the end for that. Also, let us know in the comments how you tackle going to a show. What are you trying to get out of it? How do you plan your mocks? Do you just trust in the universe like me? And
or if you are thinking about displaying at a show and have any questions, then let us know and we can always answer them.
Yeah, we could do a Q&A.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll be back next week, post-Bricktastic, to let you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Have a great week all. Bye.
Bye.